taking your blood sugar for Rupert. Okay, here's the Accu-Check Performer here. Just get that ready by taking one of the blood sticks out of the cylinder here. Just be careful you don't get two together because they're quite thin. Pop it in with the gold side into the machine. Just push it in a little way, not all the way, because otherwise it'll turn on. So just pop it there ready. Get one of your blood pricks here. Now they're already set, ready to go. You shouldn't need to load it, but I'll show you where the spare box is with unloaded ones just in case you do, but I'll have a whole box of loaded ones ready to go sitting here. The unloaded ones are just under here in the cupboard. If by some chance you need them, they're just sitting in here. Down the bottom there are a whole box here of ones that have not even been loaded, and that's why they've got the little yellow top there. And if you had to load it, then you just literally push that down, turn it around anti-clockwise, and then it snaps and you pull it out, and that actually loads it. But as I said, you're not going to need to use those, I don't think, because I'll make sure there are plenty all ready to go up there. Okay, so then we just come and get a dry swab out with our blood prick and our monitor, bring it to the top of the stairs here. I normally just turn this light on at night time to get some good light so you can see what you're doing. Put it down there ready to go. Now you are ready to go with that unless you feel you want to heat up his pad with a swab. Now I haven't been needing to do that, and you really probably don't need to do it because his blood vessels are quite, dilated to the surface. But if you really can't do it any other way, then certainly heat up a swab, but I wouldn't do it all the time because it will dry his pads out a bit and it may even make them crack a little bit. So moisten a dry swab with cold water, squeeze out the excess, microwave, pop it on the edge of the plate there. Now up here is the power button, so you just press that around until, keep pressing it till it comes to 500. And then here's the knob to do the time. 10 seconds is probably all you need. Then press jet start. You can go a bit longer if you need to. You might need to go 15, 20, but 10 is probably going to be enough. You'll be able to tell when you take it out. Beeps when it stops. Pull it out. That's pretty warm. Then just squeeze out the excess here. Now you bring Rupert. Sit him on the top of the stairs. That's not as hot as it should be normally, so somewhere between 10 and 20 seconds really, just depending on how you feel. Then you can just pop it on here. It's just nice and warm, so it wasn't hot. If it was really hot, you'll have to let it cool down a little bit before you put it on his pad. So just about 20 seconds to warm it up. It doesn't need to be, make sure it's not burning hot when you put it on his pad. Then you've really got to dry the pad properly, because otherwise the blood will just flatten out if the pad's still moist. Okay, now to do this you've got to really put a lot of pressure on the pad. I have my finger underneath his foot just to support, and then I just push this down quite firmly and then push the button. And that will bring blood to the surface fairly quickly. Now, while you're waiting, just now push this in, hear it beep, and you'll see that some numbers will come up, and then what will happen is a little blood drop will come up, which means it's ready to use. And that will stay on for about 60 seconds, and then it will just go off automatically. Now, when you're squeezing, you squeeze with 2 fingers on both sides here. And just squeeze with a fair bit of pressure. It really doesn't hurt him. And then you'll see a blood bubble slowly coming to the surface. Now, it's probably not going to show accurately the size of it on the video, but it just needs to be, quite small really. Just make sure before you put it on you've still got your blood dropper going there. Then put it directly, vertically, the end on top of the bubble, and then it just draws up. And then it'll beep with a little timer, and then you'll find a reading come up. There we go. His reading is 6.3. Then to turn it off, you just push the button here, turn it off, and then you take your stick out, and it's done. and then you just dry his pad off just with this dry swab, and it won't bleed excessively because it's such a small puncture. And then he's all done. And then you just come back and record the reading on a bit of paper up here. So it's 10 to 8, so we just can put 7:45 down here, 6.3. Now your routine, as I've mentioned in the piece of paper, will be to, as soon as you get here in the morning and the evening, feed him straight away. He'll be going insane looking for food. Give him his food. It'll only take, he'll probably eat it in 4 to 5 minutes. And then straight away after that, bring him out and take his blood test. And assuming it's in that area of 5 to 11, which I expect it probably will be, then you just give him his insulin, as I've shown in the other video. And if it's over 11, that may well mean because he's missed the dose, it hasn't gone in properly. Nothing really to worry about. We'll just then give him his dose again as normal. And if it's below 5, like if it's sitting on 3.5, 4, that may mean that I may want to drop the dose, so then you'll have to contact me because he's sort of, you know, on the verge of hopefully gradually even coming off insulin. So, but the likelihood is it will sit between 5 and 11, I would say. That's it.